What's going on, boys and girls? Welcome back to JD Plays Project Ozone 2, some modded Minecraft, and yeah, it's been a bit. Let's get back here right quick. So last time we did a little bit with Botania, and we got some mana crystals started, right? Mana pylons, sorry, not mana crystals, mana pylons. And we set up the enchanting table. We moved our Botania stuff up top, and I set up a little automation here to be able to fill mana pools. It's working like a charm. I did realize that I needed to move the runic altar away. It was having some struggle until I moved that runic altar away, and then the pool started filling up quite nicely from that point. As you can see, that's how much mana I've gained. So I now have the ability to knock down this lovely forest of trees that I've got set up. We'll use the crook so that we get a bit more saplings. There we go. And then we'll use the crook again. Why not? Boom. There we go. And this is working out very nicely, in fact, for me. Very beautifully. I can take all the wood from that and I can turn it into charcoal via my furnace right here. And that's interesting. Why did that not get pulled? Oh, it's eating. I'm like, what is burning? It's burning the wood on the ground. Okay, that's cool. I'm okay with that. All right, so let's put some wood in here right quick. So what's going on is that this thing is pulling wood. Oops. Pulling wood out of here. Stuffing the wood into here. Wood gets cooked into charcoal. Charcoal gets pulled out of there. Stuffed into the cache. Cache lets charcoal fall through, and plants eat the charcoal. Now, right now, obviously, while I'm standing here, plants can't eat the charcoal because the charcoal is being scooped up by my ring of magnetization, but we'll correct that in just a second as soon as I pick this up and get out of here right quick. So we'll just stick all that back in right quick, and then we'll shift our way out. And as the plants eat the charcoal, they produce mana. Mana goes into the pools. We're targeting the distributor. The distributor distributes it between the pools. I may add an additional pool over here later. So we are very rapidly and very easily refilling our mana pools with nothing but charcoal power. And that, boys and girls, is a beautiful thing. We could just go with straight wood, but the charcoal does burn a bit longer, and I've got a nice simple power loop that allows that to happen, so there's no reason not to do it that way. In fact, if this machine ever starts to run low on charcoal, it simply keeps itself full via the cache that it's already dumping into from that second piece of item conduit right there. And sometimes this ring of, we're gonna correct that ring of magnetization issue soon enough, by the way. All right, so I need to restock my wood supply here, right? Can't grow wood if we don't have saplings, so let's get that done. And we still have not automated this farm yet. It's coming, I promise. We'll make a new harvester. We may even do that this episode. I don't know. We'll see. So I've kind of got a little bit of legwork and a little bit of prep work done getting ready to do this episode. Today what we're going to look at is we're going to kind of start to further optimize our techniques, right? I would like to have a more steady stream of materials so that I'm not having to do so much material preparation off camera, where we can just be like, hey, I want to build that. Okay, I've got the material to do that, no problem. Oh, by the way, I've turned these leaves into infested leaves just to kind of give it, you know, a little difference in color. Not sure I like it. Probably going to change it back, but, you know, I thought I'd give it a go. Infected them with some silkworms. Yeah. We have been getting very fortunate. These interlilies are growing quite nicely. I gained 2 new interlily seeds from these just a moment ago. So I will definitely start to grow this field larger soon. In terms of eggs, we're up to 271 eggs. Let's take a stack of them right quick. I still haven't really looked into what was kicking my tail here the other day. But as you can see, I can safely go in here and hatch more. Oh, that's what's happening. They're attacking me. They're attacking me because I hit them with an egg. Okay, I thought that's what it was, but I wasn't sure. If you ever run into that situation, all you got to do is relog. Okay, so we did get 1 baby chicken out of there. That's cool. I'll take it. We'll leave those guys there and let them just chill out. I'll check on them later. They can just make me more eggs. You know, they're my egg slaves for right now, so it's all good. It's all good. In terms of other things over here, feathers, we're up to 121 feathers. And I still have yet to refill my food traps down here. I'll do that soon, but no need for it right now. So we still have our typical item inventory system. I did move the rest of the stuff over here like I showed you yesterday. I did go ahead and finish up enclosing the base. So we've got, you know, nice windows and walls all the way around now. I still haven't decided where I'm going to move this yet. It's going to be moved. I just haven't decided where yet. I'm still organizing things. In preparation for this episode, I went ahead and made some more machine chassis. I got us a few more laser beams made. So we're up to what? 4, 8, 12, 16, 20 laser beams now. They can knock out machine frames with a pretty good swiftness now. We've got 4 of those made. And if you remember machine frames, they're just machine chassis. Throw it to the assembly table, make some energetic alloy gears, Invar ingots, and glass. Energetic alloy gears is just energetic alloy around an iron gear. Iron gear, of course, can be made this way. The other way you can do it, you don't have to do an iron gear. You can do a iron gear this way, which is just stone gears, or with basic gears. There's several different options on that. Now over here is what I've done new. So I decided it was time to start automating our ability to smash cobble. And it's very simplistic right now. This is nothing fancy. All it is we've got a cache full of cobble. Cobble falls down into a hopper. Hopper puts cache into an automatic hammer. Hammer smashes that, drops the gravel, resultant gravel, into a new hopper, puts it in here, smashes that into sand. Sand falls down to here, smashes that, becomes dust. Dust goes into here. The dust gets pulled out of here and put into the sieve. Sieve smashes dust. Any contents from the sieve are going to pass into the chest. Anything that does not have a spot over in the other inventory system over there will stay in the chest and get pulled out by this. Well, that just happens to be all of the various ores. And except for they're in their dust form. So using a single drawer controller, we put all the ores in. The drawer controller looks at each individual compacting drawer as a single inventory and puts them where they belong. Now the compacting drawer is very nice because every 4 of these it makes a an iron ore. It takes the powdered iron ore, for example, and turns it into iron ore dust, which is what we want, right? We want to be able to take that and stick that into something to process it. Now we could stick that into our smeltery over here, but you know as well as I do that if we start mixing all kinds of crazy ingots and stuff over into the smeltery, we're going to run into an issue with alloys. And alloys are not really the route that I want to go right now. Oh, and I have been smelting blood, by the way. I've been pouring all the blood out of this system, and I've got lots of coagulated blood now. Mobs keep spawning in there and just keep making me more blood, and that's great. So what do I want to do to process all of this metal and get it turned into ingots, all this dust, right? Well, I think the route that I have chosen to go with this time is going to be, I want to make a new thermal expansion machine in the form of a pulverizer. Now for a pulverizer, we need a basic machine frame, and we need a couple of gears. And then we're going to need a concordance cable or conductance cable or one of those, you know, the things we've made so many times before. So let's make one of those right quick. I think this is what we need. I hope I'm not wrong. Did I do it wrong? Is it a reception? Is that what we need? It is. It is. And then we're going to need a couple of pieces of flint. Okay. So we should have flint right here. A couple of pieces of flint. There we go. And a pulverizer is very, very similar to a sag mill. Although in this mod pack, it does appear that they have divided up what a sag mill can do versus what a pulverizer can do. Okay, so a pulverizer, I know, can take these dusts and can convert them. So I'm just going to set this bad boy up right here for just a minute. And if we open the bottom side of it and say, okay, well, I want this to be blue. I want this to be orange. I don't want this to do anything, and I don't want this to do anything. Okay, just like that. And if I take a single piece of item conduit, I can plug it back in right here and then grab my wrench. Let's sever that connection. I want this guy to extract and I want this guy to insert. And what's going to happen now is as everything passes through, it gets sorted to its appropriate inventories, and then it gets pulled back out of this inventory in its compact form and placed into the pulverizer. Okay. But the thing is that there's nowhere for it to go yet. So is that really how we want to do this? Well, good point. No, that's not. That's not how we want to do it. We need to change it one more step. Let's move the pulverizer to here instead. Okay. Let's set it to insert again. Okay. Now, what we don't want is we don't want nether titanium ore going in there. That's bad. Let's not have that happen. Instead, we need something that can sit between this, and convert what we're going to get out of these. And I'll show you what we're going to get real quick. Do I have some power? Yeah, we got some power right here. All right, so let's run a little power across to it. So it's powered now. It's already trying to pulverize stuff. I don't know where it keeps getting stuff, but it wants to pulverize. But let's take a piece of this iron, right? So this iron ore dust, if we put it in here, it's going to smash down into 2 pulverized iron ore with the opportunity to also produce ferro. So it's actually better to process this inside of this pulverizer than it would have been if we had taken it over to the smeltery. In the smeltery, we would have doubled our iron, but we'd have had no chance at getting this pulverized ferrous metal. So that's an advantage for us. Now, what do I want to do with it from here is the question. Well, from here, I probably would like to smelt it. And so I've got a couple of choices. I can use a redstone furnace. I can use a alloy smelter. I could grab one of these guys. Well, these guys require fuel to run, so I don't think that's going to be my best option. I want to run it off something that can be powered. You know, some form of a powered furnace seems best. Let's compare them real quick. So we got the alloy smelter. Smell. Sure. Right here. What did this take? This wasn't difficult. It's not bad, right? We need the machine chassis, some blocks of iron, a couple of gold furnaces. It's not too bad. Let's look at the redstone. Redstone furnace is just, it's real simple, right? We can do that with the quickness. Let's make one of those instead. We'll just stick to the RF stuff. And we'll need a couple of copper gears. Now, for now, this thing should still have a little bit of power left in it. So we're going to toss these in here and make our copper gear this way. Oh, my ring of magnetization strikes again. It's pulling things off the belt. Oh, it ran out of power. What a sad day. All right, I got a couple of ways I can handle this. I'm going to try to handle it. I think this will work at least. Let's see if this is going to work. I haven't tried this yet. So this will be. Oh, that's terrible. We just messed up massively. We need an engineer's hammer. First, we need to put this back on top. Then we need an engineer's hammer. Okay, let's hang this up there. Should have an engineer's hammer somewhere, right? Right there. Okay. Dink it. Bam. There we go. Okay, cool. Then we can just attach that. All right, there we go. Now, I got a few ways I want to try this. But if you remember, I attached all of these guys, right? And let them start pulling down power. Why not, you know, start making use of the fact that we have all those dudes and do something with them? So these are the, if you're wondering why you couldn't see my power cables for a second there, these are hardened energy cells that hold 2 million RF each that come from thermal expansion. And so I'm just going to grab one of these dudes. I don't need these worms. Let's just, let's move this down real quick. Open the trash bag. Throw these torches and these worms in the trash. As well as these apples, saplings, this bone, and these sticks. Okay, that works for me. All right, so I'm pretty sure, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I can just sit this right here on top of this, like so. And yeah, it's powered. It's getting power from this. So from there, I could either run additional, you know, energy cells, or I can just come across and tie into it. And now the top, well, let's just see. Yeah, we're inputting and outputting power. So we're good. That works now. And we actually, now because we have that on there, we now have a buffer. Press will come down, smash it. There we go. Get a nice new ingot. And we'll probably grab it. There we go. There's our, not ingot, gear. Sorry, gear. And I actually kind of like making my gears in there because it's, I don't have to switch things around in the smeltery and do all kinds of crazy stuff, right? Now, if you remember, this right here was where I was building my compacting drawers. You need a couple of compactors and some other such nonsense, but we got that done. So we're not going to stress that too much right now. Now, do I have any brick? That's the next question, right? Brick. Let's take a look. We're looking for these. Do we have any of these? Well, I've got 2 of them. That's not very good. All right, well, we don't have much brick. Do we have any clay? Clay, I got a little bit of clay. All right, let's get some clay. We'll just break these. We got any fuel inside of you? We do. How fancy. You'll do great for me. You'll do great work. Making Minecraft great again. All right, little quick swoop and we'll get some bricks made. Bam. I think we're working in one of these. That one. Okay, this goes here, this goes here. We're gonna need another one of those concordant or conductance cables. I thought I had that saved at one point, but apparently not. That's okay. We'll just pop it in here. It's really easy to make. Boom, there we go. So there's our conductance. And then we'll need this, and then we got one thing left to go. I can never remember what this is, right? Redstone. A single dollop a drop of redstone to go on the top of the machine. There we go. There's our new redstone furnace. Awesome. So now, with all of this lovely pulverized iron and ferrous, if we set the furnace down right beside it. Now, let's keep in mind how we want things to go here. I don't want anything exiting or entering from the bottom. I do want things exiting from this side. That's good. All right. I want the side, this side over here, to be blue. I want this to accept items. So it's going to start getting items pushed into it, and I want items to exit this side. That's perfect. We do need at least one piece of power here. All right. So we're going to kind of do exactly what I did over there. I don't really have a lot of power cable. Well, here's some power cable I can steal. Let's just steal this because I don't want to make any more power cable. I think I actually have some on me, but, you know, I'm trying to be cheap here. But I still do want to do this real quick. Let's go ahead and take one of these and let's buffer this system so that we can keep plenty of power in this area as we need it. So there we go. Now that's powered. This is powered. We're cooking. We're making iron ingots. Iron ingots are passing into here and then immediately going into their position over here. And so we now have a system that will sit here and smash down all of our ore, turn our ore into what we want, and we'll put the dust that we want into here. But there's a problem with the system right now. When it pulls from these compacting drawers, let's turn one on right quick. Let's turn on like platinum. How many platinum do I have? All right, let's pull all of these out. All right, so I have one powdered platinum right now, right? So let's tell the powdered platinum that you're good to let your stuff go. So it's pulling now and it's looking for where it can put things. Well, it didn't put anything in here. I wonder why. Well, let's put the powdered platinum back in. You can extract. You're good. It's not extracting. I may have to play with this for a second. That should be working right now. Do I have something set up that says no? Hold on. Let me look at something. You're on green. You're on green. Okay. So extraction is allowed. Let's do a little test. All right. So notice it's pulling the powder. It didn't pull the what we expected with the dust. It's trying to pull the powder. This is annoying when this starts happening. Okay, hold up. I got an idea. We're gonna do this. There we go. Okay, now we're fixed. All right. So the problem right now is that it's gonna try to pull something that it's not supposed to pull. Dang it! I did it again. Turn this back on. Put this back inside. All this random stuff we're getting out of here. Now the problem with this is that I don't actually have anywhere set up for that to go right now. I actually took down my position for bone meal earlier and didn't replace it. So there you go. Now you got a spot to go live bone meal. Be happy. Okay, anyways, as we saw, it was trying to pull out the dust. I mean the powder and not the dust. So how can we fix that? Well, inside of Ender IO with these conduits, especially these item conduits, we have things called filters. And I pointed these out to you guys before. Let me find one real quick right here. Item filters. So for item filters, we just need hoppers and paper. It's pretty simple, okay? So we've got that. I've got some hoppers on me, 11 of them to be exact. Let's make some filters right quick. So we'll grab some paper and we'll just stick these here and put these around it. And bam, we got some filters, no problem. All right, so now let's come back over here, and this time let's do it to the same one right here. Only let's add a filter in here, right? We'll drop a filter in. Filter says, all right, what is my whitelist? What am I allowed to pull out? Well, let's get a single piece of, oh, we got some garbage on us. Let's get rid of some garbage here. Garbage, garbage, garbage. There we go. So give me a single piece of this platinum dust. That's what I would like. But it won't let me pull it out. Why not? I pulled it out before. It's gone somewhere. What did I do with it? Did we may have actually cooked the platinum dust now that I'm looking at it. Okay, let's try this differently. We'll use osmium. So we got, I don't want all of it. I want a single piece. So with osmium, if we put the filter on and we put this right here, it now has a whitelist that says this is the only thing I'm allowed to extract from this barrel. Okay? And where's it going to extract to? Well, there's only two places that anything can be extracted to. They can either be extracted to this bone meal bin, which only takes bone meal, or they can go into the pulverizer. So at this point, I should be able to turn this on. And I don't know what I do with my platinum, by the way. I'm kind of concerned about that. And this guy, it should be going in there, but it is not. I wonder if I have to extract from the front. I don't think so. It doesn't sound legit, but let's try it. Let's try it. Hold on. If I set this back to redstone on, it's been a long time since I've worked with these, so sometimes I make some silly mistakes. By the way, if you take the filter off, it maintains its filter settings, just FYI. So let's try it like this. Let's put the item conduit on the front. Let's put the filter in. So there it is with osmium, extracting. Bam. Okay, so right now it should be ready and willing to come down. Oh, I see what I think is happening. Let's set this extraction to be on the brown channel. And let's set this insertion to be on, there we go. Okay, what was happening is, I'm kind of, oops, that's bad. Hold up, give me that. Oh, I missed it. All right, so what was happening, and I'll explain this very quickly. Let me go get, I've got it, okay. Let me lock these so that this stops happening. Is that as it was extracting things, it was immediately reinserting them back into the system right here. So it would extract out, it would come down and be like, oh, let me go back in. Oh, let me go back in. So that was just silliness on my part. Okay, no big deal. By the way, you can lock these, and you should lock them so that things can't randomly interlock what I'm doing. Because then you run into the same silly scenario that I've got going on. There's osmium. That's what I want in there. Boom. All right, so these are all locked now, so we don't have to deal with that problem anymore. And now, as long as I set up each of my filters correctly, so this guy, you know, he's osmium. There we go, we're good. I should be able to just turn this bad boy on. So where's one that doesn't have too many? Let's do zinc next, okay? Let's grab a zinc. So we'll take our filter, pop it in for the zinc, filter on zinc, set it to the brown channel, and set it to extract. And it pulled all the zinc out. It went into the pulverizer. It's being pulverized down. As it gets pulverized down, it's being cooked in the redstone furnace, sent into here, and sucked right out. And there you go. Voila. All zinc will now be handled. So that's awesome. Now let's use it where it actually counts. Let's put it down here where some of our bigger ores are, where you know we're going to get a lot of these guys. Put that in there. So iron. This one's a mean one, right? We're going to make tons of iron. Put it on the brown channel. Bam. And iron is being handled. And now it's a beautiful setup because I don't ever have to come back and touch this again, right? I don't have to worry about it making alloys or any of that nature because all it's doing is smashing the ore down, getting our, you know, duplicating it basically, running it through in its duplicated form, you know, its processable form, and turning it into ingots for us, and then sending it into our network and over into our item storage and I don't ever have to touch it again. I could very easily do the exact same thing. Now you got to remember, I'm also still getting all the side things we would get from normally crushing cobble into sand. I mean, into dust. So we're still getting redstone. We're still getting glowstone. We're getting all of these things. And I'm running it with 8 fortune upgrades and 8 speed upgrades. So it's actually getting me quite a bit. Now I could probably take a few of these speed upgrades out and speed this whole process up to produce a bit more material, right? Put one in there. Drop one in there. And it may be worth my time. Uh-oh, we had a crash. Be right back. It's probably worth my time to go ahead and get a few more speed upgrades set up on those hammers so that as they're smashing things down, I'm getting more ore at a faster frequency. But in the same way that I set up that system, I could do the exact same system setup using sand so that I could get electrotine and the other materials from it and gravel. And I could have this entire system that's just producing tons and tons of ore. And at the end, they're going into these same series of compacting drawers. They're becoming the same final production that goes back into our sorting system and just stores up real nice. And that's probably what I'm going to do, to be honest. Minecraft is coming back, by the way. Oh, and I never updated my... Well, technically, I'm still in the form of automation upgrades right now. So, the next things that I kind of really want to work on is I want to continue to automate my ore processing facility so that if I'm in the nether mining, I can send nether ores back and they automatically get processed. There is no longer any storage of nether ores. That's going to greatly alleviate some of the stress off of my current storage system. I'll probably also need to move my storage system somewhere because, you know, we're starting to expand the base and get things sectioned off into areas. And so we've got a good farming and garden area. We've got a good area for Botania at the moment. I probably need to devote a single area that is going to be more or less my power, power grid, my power plant. And when I do that, I need to kind of move where my storage of goods is going to be and build it, in an area where I have kind of a workshop, because you're going to go back and forth with your goods to your workshop to build from. And so I need to decide where that's going to be exactly. You don't want to have everything all in one chunk either. So I probably need to look at expanding my base out and starting to spread where these buildings are into different areas of the base. So if this is my central piece, maybe I want to eventually move my power grid over here. The reason for that is if you stack everything in a vertical manner, the performance of the server load is going to get really heavy in that one chunk. And you really want to you want to grow tall and wide in a combination where different chunks can be unloaded if necessary. And I'm going to show you guys pretty soon how we'll have the ability to do that. And now you get to patiently wait, or you can skip, ahead a little bit and get past this loading screen, but you'll miss very valuable information. By the way, click that subscribe button for me. Tell your friends. Get more views happening. Come hang out with me. Talk to me. Let me know what's going on. Leave me a comment and be like, yo, dude, it sucked watching you sit there while the game reloaded. That works. I'll reply and I'll talk to you. And we'll have a good conversation, you and I. All right, so we got everybody with some speed upgrades now, so they're a little bit faster. That's beautiful. Let's see. Do I have something on me that I can put up here to stand on? It's probably what made me crash, to be honest, was not having anything to stand on. All right, there we go. Let's put this guy in there. There we go. And so that'll speed him up a little bit, not much. Now, what does it take to make these speed upgrades? We made these a while back, right? It's not hard. I can make these pretty easily. I don't know that I want to spend dark steel on them. Pyrotheum's pretty easy to make, right? Blaze powder, sulfur, pulverizer. And that kind of reminds me. Recipe for blaze powder. Fire bloom, that's one way to get it. Oh, look, we can smash, or we can get it straight from these blaze rods, right? That's cool. Blaze lanterns, how do we get those? Well, we just combine these. That's no big deal. So blaze lamps are a better way to store it, and we can pull it directly out of blaze rods. So that's good. Might be something we want to consider doing, but we definitely want to look into potentially making more of these speed upgrades just to speed up the entirety of the system. We get 2 per, and they're really not that expensive, especially now that we basically have an infinite supply of metal goods that are, as long as we can continue to supply cobble. So brown network, this one's ready to start pulling out. There he goes. Good job. And like I said, the beautiful thing about this is we don't have to worry about making alloys. Everything is just going to get smelted as is. It's going to be a single consistent ore without a whole lot of alloys. And at that point, that means that we can now actually look to using our smeltery for what it's intended for in the making of alloys, and only alloys. And we're still pouring blood, but somehow we got stone mixed in with it. I am okay with that. We're going to get rid of this pipe for just a second. Take it off, put it back on, set it to extract, and let it continue to pump blood into there because I didn't want the stone anyways. Nice. All right, let's finish setting this up right quick. It shouldn't take long. All right, so filter, 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 and filter. And we're probably going to need to make some more filters, but this is at least enough to get us started with the main ores. Filter on this, brown, go. And we're going to get into the use of filters a lot more in depth later, but this is our first introduction to them. And it's going to get us doing what we need. And that's what matters, boys and girls, is that it gets us doing what we need. Boom. This whole side is now set up and running. That's beautiful. All right, what do we have over here? Titanium's not huge. Platinum is kind of big, but it's going to be a bit probably before we have enough platinum to fix the filter on there. The osmium is good to go. We'll just set it brown and turn it on. This guy's already working. Let's get this guy set up. And we actually almost have just enough filters, right? Because this guy's filtered. This dude's filtered. I think we're going to literally have to make one more filter is all. And we'll do that for titanium. And I'm not in a rush for titanium. It's not that big of a... We don't get a lot of it. Right now, at least. So we'll get aluminum set up. Brown. There we go. So you've seen me demonstrate several concepts here. We now have, items flowing through this entire network. We have things transitioning back and forth without the use of item conduit. You're also seeing the use of filters, and you're also seeing me further filter the network using channels. We can take that a bit further and even have different channels with different signal colors set up and round robin options. The filters have a white list, a black list. They've also got metadata options. So we'll talk about all of that soon, but not just yet. This guy, we do not want this guy doing anything yet because we don't have a filter. We're going to need to make 2. Anyways, there it is. We have a complete automation of ingot generation. We don't have to touch this anymore. It's just going to make ingots for us. Can I make it more compact? Absolutely. We can make this a lot more compact. We could technically take all of these hammers and put them in a single line, and using item conduits, have it pull the cobble from here into this one, the gravel from this one into this one, the sand from this one into this one, and the dust into this. Then have that immediately, the dust into, into this. So really we could I could make this footprint be 5, for these 5 machines, and then drop down 1 and have all of the dust machines directly below those, accepting all of the different forms of dust, because technically I could put a filter right here that just handled dust, right? And so I could reduce the footprint of this instead of this taking up this whole wall to where it probably takes up a height of about 3 or less. Probably even 2 is about as tight as I can fit it. A height of about 2 rows, which means technically, because this wall is what? 1, let's see, let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I could probably fit the automation of gravel, sand, and dust harvesting all in this one singular spot. And I might do that down the road. I might condense this whole setup. But for now, this is working and it's producing me ingots, and I don't have to think about it anymore. I don't have to mess with this any longer. So we're going to walk away from that right now and be happy with it. Now, I've got cable running all over my base. And I don't like how that looks. It looks junky, it looks trashy. And I think there's a better way to do that. And to do it, we're going to need a new machine. And it's going to involve using a chassis. One second, there was something I wanted to look at real quick in thermal expansion before we moved on. Okay, yeah, we'll come back to that. Anyways, so what this machine is called a painter. Okay, and the reason we want this painter is because if we go into Ender.io, we can make these lovely things called conduit facade. We have conduit facade and hardened facade. Hardened facade just requires that we take some obsidian dust. How do we get obsidian dust? Well, that's pretty easy. Take some obsidian. Oh, I forgot I moved all my obsidian. I'm like, what? Take some obsidian. Did I ever put my sag mill back online? I don't think I did. I think I have that stored right now. We'll get it back out in a bit. By the way, look, I've already pulverized all of this ore. There's nothing left, but check it out. We can pulverize this stuff down very easily, very fancy schmancy. The advantage of hardened conduit facade over regular conduit facade is it is more explosion resistant, right? So it doesn't break quite as easily. So we'll take some of this. I'm going to let this last batch make up right quick. And there are other advantages, by the way. There's another machine we're going to hopefully get made during this episode for for thermal expansion that I would really like to get to at least, and that is the induction smelter, because it's pretty massive for what it enables us to do. It really starts up our capabilities with certain ore types. All right, I'm going to leave that as it is. Do I have a spot that I want to start putting these? I bet I can make one. I bet I can. I bet right there, right where those cocoa beans are. We don't need cocoa beans. We'll put this stuff in. There we go. Lock that down because we're gonna want a lot of that stuff actually. And so what kind of sucks right now is there is no place for this to send out of this machine, right? Well, we can fix that. So I could put another filter and pull pulverized obsidian or any other items I wanted off this other side. I'm not going to right now, but I could do that. All right, so how do I make the original facade is now the question. Well, that's just some of this conduit binder. We've already been making this stuff to be able to make any of the conduits we want. That's dust mixed with salt and clay, and we get conduit binder. So if we take conduit binder on its own, and I've got some right here, and we put it in a lovely square pattern, like so, we get facades, okay, 8 of them. And I'm going to go ahead and turn these into hardened facades, just because why not? It would be silly not to defend our facades. Now, what do facades do for us? What makes them special? Why do we even care about having a facade? Well, what they do is they allow us to take places where we have conduit, such as right here, and cover it. We'll do it as an example right here. Okay, maybe I have forgotten how. Right click on a conduit to place, hidden with when a wrench or conduit is equipped. Okay, so we're right clicking a conduit. Did they change how? Oh, you may have to have these painted first. This is this one is not working for some reason. Let's try regular conduit, maybe facades. It's been a long time since I've done this, but that should have been going on there as it was. The game is not happy with me. Okay, so this is a regular facade. Okay, so my conduit facades do not appear to be working quite the same as they did before. Maybe we have to actually interact. Let's find out what's going on. Conduit facade not working. This is Project Ozone 2. I guess you do have to paint them first. Okay, so let's go paint them first. I didn't think you had to paint these first. I thought I had remembered back in the day you could do it without painting them, but I could be just being moronic. Anyways, we're ready to make the painting machine anyways. So somewhere in here we have a painting machine right here. Okay, for this we're going to need some electrical steel, a machine chassis, an ender diamond, and some blocks of quartz. If you don't remember, blocks of quartz are really not that difficult to get as long as you've got some quartz. We do. Okay, whoop. There's that. Let's go ahead and drop some of this stuff off right quick. And the diamond that we were just looking at is simply a diamond surrounded by, I believe, ender pearls. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go, ender diamond. And then we need some electrical steel. I thought I had more electrical steel than this. Apparently I do not have more electrical steel than this. Okay, what do we need for electrical steel? This shouldn't be too difficult to make, right? Silicon, coal powder, and iron. Okay, let's make some of that right quick. So we got some silicon, coal powder, and iron. Take this all up here, stick it in the alloy smelter. And it will make us what we need. In the meantime, let's drop off the diamond. I'm not sure where this nether titanium ore is coming from. In fact, let's just put up what we can real quick. Where did you come from? Do I not have a spot for you? Apparently not. Okay, we can correct that. We can correct that. For now, let's just put this down here. And we'll correct that in a bit. All right, we got some steel coming in. Doing good now. Should be like so. There we go. Painter is being made. Beautiful. Oh, come on. Where do I want to put this bad mamma jamma? Let's just say him somewhere super useful right now, like right here. There we go. He's getting power. All right, so what you're going to want to do when you do a facade is you're going to want to determine, all right, what do I want this facade to take on the appearance of? Let's say I want to do this cobblestone with panel, okay? So we'll run down here. We'll get a piece of cobblestone right quick. And let's get our chisel. Drop this in there. Cobblestone with panels is what we're looking here. There we go. So we come back to the painter, get off of the chisel, stick this in there, and then stick our facades in, and it will begin painting them. Now obviously it's going to be nice and slow right now because we don't have any kind of a capacitor put into this. Let's plug it in to speed it up. Now you'll notice that it starts doing this lovely animations and colors, and what we get back are these hardened conduit facades. So now let's take this and let's just put it right here. And look, it takes on the exact same shape, pattern, and everything to hide our wires. We can no longer see our wires. Now, what if we want to see our wires? Well, that's where you just equip another conduit and you can see them. Or you can go to the Yetta wrench, and the Yetta wrench actually has the option to look through conduits and see various things. That's an advantage of this wrench, okay? So that is conduits. Or I'm sorry, those are facades. And that is what one of the uses, I think it's the 99.9% the primary use of the painter. So that's super useful and super helpful to us. All right, so I'm going to use those to start doing some base cleanup soon. Now, where are we at in terms of recording time? Let's take a look. We're at 44 minutes. All right, we're going to call that good for this time. Next time, we're going to get into a few more new machines. We're going to start looking at an induction smelter. I'm going to start doing some more things with the automation system for our ores. And we're going to hopefully start getting into some more advanced concepts with things like ME and starting to look down that path. But that's it for this time, guys. As always, if you liked it, like it. If you'd like to see more, like it. Click the subscribe button. If you want to see my latest uploads and get notifications for when I've got activity, click the little bell icon. I have started an ARC Let's Play series, so feel free to drop by and give that a thumbs up. Take a look at some of those videos. As always, leave me a comment. Let me know what I'm doing well and what I could be doing better. Other than that, you guys be good to one another, and I'll see you all next time. Laters.